this graph, we are going to first find the slope, then the y-intercept, and then b. We are going to use the form y equals mx plus b to create our equation of the line. So let's start with the slope. Now the thing about slope is that the slope is the same no matter where you are on that line. And so what we're looking for here is two good points. And what I mean by good points is points where the line crosses exactly on whole number ordered pairs. So for example, if I follow this line, you can see like I would not want to pick that point because I can see that it's not an exact whole number. We're somewhere in between. Let's continue. Where would be our first point? So here's our first point. Notice that this kind of crosses at our grid marks. So this is a good point to use for the slope. Okay, let's continue. This is not good, but here's another one right here that crosses. Now it may not always fall, let me rephrase that. You do not always have to use the y-intercept. It just happens to work with this one, but you don't always have to use that. You can pick any two good points anywhere on this line. And I could actually take the x and y axis completely off and we would still be able to find the slope of the line. Okay, so if I've got 2 points, the way that I determine the slope, again, slope is rise over run. So slope is going to be a fraction. And then we're going to simplify. So we write it as a fraction first and then simplify the fraction or make it a whole number if that's possible. So we're going to start at the bottom point and count how far up we go. Our goal is to eventually get to this point, but we're not crossing over the grid lines. We're following the grid lines. So if I'm trying to get to this point, how far up do I go? I go up 1, 2 units. So our rise is 2. Okay. From there, I go 1, 2, 3 units to the left. So our run is 3. However, if I go left, that's going in the negative direction. So this has to be a -3. For my math lab purposes, you would write the slope with the negative out front and then the fraction. If you include the negative at the bottom, it could potentially count it wrong. Okay? So let's put this slope over here. We have -2/3. Now again, be careful. This won't always work out this way. There might be times that that you may have to reduce this fraction or you may end up getting a whole number. But in this case, we do end up with a fraction. Our next step is to find the y-intercept. Our y-intercept is right here. And what is that point? That point is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 0, 4. Always count carefully. So our y-intercept is the point. B is the y value of the y-intercept. So for this problem, B is 4. And then plugging this back into our slope-intercept form of the line, we have y equals m, which is our slope, -2/3, x plus b, which is 4. And if it asks you for the equation of the line, you can come up with it using slope and y-intercept.